Now, economist Dr. Iraj Abedian joins me now for more analysis and a look at, of course, how these attacks on foreign nationals would impact foreign direct investment into South Africa. Iraj, thanks for your time this evening. I'm talking about FDI into South Africa, but let's start with FDI in other countries on the continent. From South Africa, we are the biggest investor on the continent.
Absolutely, and it's been part of our integration into the rest of Africa. After 20 years, we see now South Africans are relatively well established in different sectors: telecommunication, banking, retail. And of course, very importantly, over the past 5 years, Africa has become and is likely to continue to be our fastest growing destination for our exports. So apart from investment into the continent, our trade into the African countries, Sub-Saharan Africa particularly, is a very important destination for our growth, for our jobs at home, for our tax revenues, etc., etc. So I think that integration, as it more and more happens, we need to take these issues and these incidences of xenophobic or Afrophobic, whatever we call it, which is really emanating from ignorance of the fact that we are part of Africa. It's very consequential. Apart from that, brand South Africa is also going to suffer. So even if you're not into the rest of Africa, considering investing in Africa, even if you're sitting in wherever on the globe, you don't want to be in a society that is so out of it, so violent, so ignorant, and therefore it cuts both ways, not just for Africans coming into South Africa and investing, not only for our investments and trade into the rest of the continent, but brand South Africa is something that we have to protect.
Let's tackle this issue around immigrants and migrants stealing jobs, and you know how much truth there actually is in that. If you look at societies around the world that have been built on migrant labor, our very own industries, you heard from the Chamber of Mines, built on migrant labor.
Absolutely. The fact is that we are a country in need of skills. If Zimbabweans are here, there are teachers, maths teachers, science teachers, English teachers. If you're in the banking sector, if you're working in our mines, these are skilled Zimbabweans, or if they are Ghanaians or if they are Nigerians. Yes, there are elements of unskilled, but those unskilled are not begging. They are not taking anybody's job. Many of them, and most importantly, the small business owners, they actually create jobs. They create not only jobs for themselves, but also create jobs for South Africans. So I think that's a very, very misguided notion. Unfortunately, some of the small business leaders and some of others sort of fuel this misperception, but absolutely there is no truth. Nobody comes to take anybody's job who's got skills to do the job here.
So what sort of response do we need to this then? The ambassador is saying we need to work together in the countries from where the ambassadors come from. They need to make sure that they protect South African businesses, but at the same time, South African government needs to protect foreign nationals in South Africa.
Absolutely. There is no question. I think the government has been swift in taking action against the criminal elements. Apart from fighting criminality, all South Africans, not just government, business leaders have a role to play. Church and religious organizations have got, educational leaders have got, and thought leaders have got, media has got. All of us in South Africa have to really join forces to fight this pain that xenophobic thinking and xenophobic and otherphobia, whatever is different from us, whether it's a bit darker or a bit lighter, suddenly we sensationalize it. That is not something that government on its own can handle. Government must deal with the criminal element. South Africa, all of us, as parents, we have to teach our children, teachers, etc., etc. And we have to join forces. It's a big issue, and it's not going to go away until we keep at it for the next few years.
We'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today, Dr. Iraj Abedian, our guest this evening.